Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
I'm appalled at what you said on that pod thing. It's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with yo ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, because it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the KVJ After the Show Podcast. What's up? We keep it going right here.
Oh, yeah.
Getting stuff we didn't cover on the regular show, picking up stuff we couldn't finish, and getting your comments and your emails, mail@kvjshow.com. We were talking about 5 necessary tips to make your homemade burrito better, much like what you would get in a delicious restaurant that would be serving burritos. A couple of good suggestions to add to it that our listeners added. One was making sure you're getting the right kind of burrito. And there are gringo burritos that are out there. You mentioned Mission is one.
I'm wondering if I'm getting gringo burritos.
Tortillas, you mean?
Yeah, tortillas.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
the tortilla for the burrito. And because they had said, yes, a lot of them are too thick. You need the really big ones, and they're thin. And that starts off the burrito. So if you don't have the right tortilla, you're not going to get the right kind of burrito.
Yeah, I noticed that. So, I go to Restaurant Depot a lot. And the last time I was there, I got my tortillas from there.
And you saw a difference?
They're bigger and they're thinner. And I looked at it. It's like the packaging is totally different, even though it's the same brand that they have at Publix. It's not Mission. It's a different one besides Mission. I can't remember the name of it. But they are definitely bigger. They're definitely flatter. And it was more restaurant packaging.
There's a brand that I get, and I thought it was Mission, but I was going through, there's a couple that you can get at Publix, and it tasted chemically. And if I'm saying it tasted chemically, and I think it's Mission that's like that, and to your point about heating it up in the pan, that makes a huge difference in my opinion. It makes the burrito delicious.
I like it when it get a little steam on it.
Yes.
A steamed burrito skin is so good.
Get her warm and then get her wet. That's how I like a wet burrito.
You do, huh?
I do. I want her dripping.
Here are some of the comments that we got via text. They said, you aren't really Hispanic if you use Mission tortillas. It's like claiming Taco Bell is authentic Mexican.
Okay.
Damn.
Banderitas and Abuelita tortillas is where it's at. La Banderita brand.
Banderita. I think that's the one I have.
Okay.
I think that's the one they have at Restaurant Depot.
And if you're looking for them, you can also shop at El Bodegon or El Presidente. 2 different stores you can go to.
I can only get into Restaurant Depot just as your guest. I can never get my own card there, could I?
I think we could get a card here for this place, for our workplace.
I'd feel like a food badass if I could get in there.
With that neck gator, you should be able to get it at any kind of food establishment.
Thank you.
It's got hamburgers on it.
I'll bring
pizza.
you. It's the most perfect socially distanced store because it's a big ass warehouse.
But here's the thing, though. So I can go shopping with Denny's because he knows what kind of shopper I am. I like to take my time. I like to go down the aisles. I like to look at the packages, and I enjoy my shopping experience.
I'm in a hurry.
I know. That's my point. That's why I don't want to go with you.
I'll tell you one thing I've noticed at Restaurant Depot that I've not noticed at any other store, and I've never been inside, but I think is an awesome idea every store should do. They have basically the first 2 rows of parking spots covered.
Yes.
And
they are covered.
Love that concept because if you're taking groceries out or you're picking somebody up, I imagine they do that because you don't want to get your restaurant food wet. And if you've got a crazy thunderstorm that's going on, which you do obviously in the wet season here in South Florida, you can get outside of the store and not have to worry about your groceries getting wet. And I wish more stores would do that.
I'll take you over there and we can Facebook Live it.
I love it, Virginia.
It's fascinating to see how they do it. And they've told me before, if you're a business owner, you can apply for a membership and you can get a card to Restaurant Depot. And I love buying in bulk. This is like Costco on steroids.
To your point about the rain, I remember I was walking out of Publix and I had it was packed there, and my truck was a good ways away, and it just fucking poured on me. And by the time I got to my truck, I looked over, and my sub was just drenched with rainwater. I still ate it, but it was
not the same.
A rainy, fucked up sub.
Yeah, they realize that stuff can, it can really ruin your food. You can't mess with it. It's crazy. Yeah, some of the other comments that came in here, and this is true too, about the burrito. 10 seconds in the microwave on a tortilla does wonders.
Yeah, it steams it a little. My mom used to do this trick where she would get her fingertips wet and she would like pope it, like how the Pope blesses people. She would pope it with just a little bit of sprinkle.
That was her Emerald Bam.
Yeah.
Wow.
I loved it because it would make it just a little bit steamy in that microwave.
There's no way I don't have burritos today. Because of what you've done, preheat the oven.
You're there, huh?
You've woke the burrito beast.
Oh, and she is hungry.
Okay, yeah, I get it, man. I get it. Yeah, burrito sounds amazing.
You could do it healthy. You can make healthy burritos.
You can do low carb with some of them, or I've done like the whole wheat. That has been there. I'm kind of really trying to watch it now, but yeah, there are ways you can do it less.
It's fun to make them. It's fun to make your own little taco burrito bar. Oh, okay, all right. I got some things to do today.
Dude's ready to eat. Back on
taco
that food
bar
train, huh?
for one.
Ever since Denny's been bringing me those tarts.
I overheard a conversation. Yeah, Jaber was like, when I got all these tarts, he's like, but I'm really scared that if I keep eating them, I'm going to get fat again. I overheard the conversation going on in there. That's what they talk about when Jaber leaves the studio.
Denny, it's almost like, I was in recovery and Danny's like, I got something for you. Oh, yeah. I never really experienced the tart world. It's kind of a classier, I'm more lowbrow with my snacks usually.
And everything.
This is a pretty classy snack.
It is.
Yeah,
It's fancy. It's upscale.
I don't like that I'm buying a bunch, but I'm not getting for the price, I'm not getting what I should be getting.
Yeah, they are definitely not your poor man's snack.
They are not.
Because they're fresh made. And I think that's what makes it so awesome. If your snack is in cellophane, you're not doing it right.
The other thing I think you'd really love, Fat Kevin, I've talked about it before, was those whoopie pies.
Oh, they sound amazing.
Oh,
what is in those?
It is this big, like, cake.
It's a cake cookie.
It's a cake cookie. Yes.
Ooh.
And the frosting inside the middle is this peanut butter frosting.
Oh, that sounds great.
Oh, it's good. I woke up last night at 1 o'clock in the morning.
It's a cake cookie sandwich with this peanut butter frosting, whippy topping in the middle.
Yeah, it's whippy. I mean, I wish you would try them. I'll bring them in tomorrow.
They sound good.
Whoopie pie
Kevin
party.
have one bite and then eat 10 and be like, what just happened?
Yeah, right. Oh, snap. Yeah.
Yeah, I want a tart run, so I'm trying to reel it in.
It looked like some nice fresh fruit and things like that on those tarts, though. So there were some benefits.
Sound
there.
like my mom and Ann when they go on a diet.
It's good fruit in it.
They'd make salads and it had just big ham chunks in there.
Yeah.
All this cheese, gallons of
ranch dressing.
What
It's
a
a
diet.
salad.
What a diet. A diet tab.
Linda used to do that. My mom, she used to go and get that larger than life taco salad with the fried bowl.
At Wendy's?
At Wendy's. And then she used to be like, boy, it's a salad. I'm on a diet.
Gosh, have you ever broke down the calories in those fried bowls?
It's a 1,200 calorie salad without the dressing.
And
Yeah.
without the meat.
Without the
With
cheese,
nothing.
meat,
Yeah.
and dressing.
The place we would go to as kids, my mom and Ann were big into at the Palm Beach Mall had Burdine's there, and Burdine's had the best buffet you could think of, and my mom and Ann loved a buffet, and I felt like we were there every Sunday morning. We went a lot. And it was just, thinking back now, I don't know if it was that. I think it was a lot of shitty food. It was just,
But you're a kid, and you're just like, oh my gosh, a buffet, so many choices.
But did you know that those department stores had buffets inside them?
I didn't grow up here, so I don't know about Burdine's.
Is Burdine's only a Florida thing?
Yes.
No shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have that.
What kind of what department stores do you have up in Logan? That was just Logan, Ohio-y.
John Deere.
When I was a kid, Ames.
Ames.
was
We
the
had an
name of
Ames
the
down
department
here.
Yeah, that was the only one we had in town. We didn't have a lot. You had to go to Columbus for most stuff.
That was a big deal, though. Ames replaced Zayre's, and the talk of the town was, we're getting a Northern store. Ames is coming down here, but it didn't last long.
Yeah.
I think I had a little cafeteria in there.
Yeah, we had a couple places. Columbus had a place called Lazarus was the name of it. Was a department store unique just to Columbus. So every town did, but I don't see that so much anymore. I think back in the 70s and 80s, areas would have their own kind of like Macy's, but now everything has become so corporate that it pushed a lot of those places out. I don't even know if I don't even know that Lazarus is still in Columbus, and I remember they were very rich back in like the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, I wonder if does that make it better or does it make it worse? I mean, does that make it better for, I guess, everybody? The overall picture. Would you rather have those regional places that are only the Logan would know about it? Is that better for society?
They probably went out because the big guys were able to streamline and give you cheaper prices. And the Walmarts, I think, pushed a lot of the Lazaruses and the Ames and all that stuff out of business. And that's just the way, capitalism works. If you give somebody the same product or a better product at a better price, guess who wins? And they were able to do that. So good for them. That's how you win.
Yeah, no, I'm
Makes
just
life better, right?
I'm sorry, Lazarus.
Sorry.
You need to step it up.
step up your game. Yeah, I'm wondering.
Because they could buy in that volume, so they could get those kind of prices. And that's why that makes sense to have a Walmart-sized business because of the price they can then deliver the goods at. Nobody can compete a local mom and pop.
Did you have Oshman's? Does that sound familiar? It's a sporting goods store.
Yes, we had that.
We did not.
We had that in Louisiana, Oshman's.
That was a big one down here. Then Sports Authority started taking over.
And now it's all about that dick.
It is all about that dick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're doing big. Yeah, there's been a lot that have done that. Nobody Beats the Wiz, I know, up in New York was big for appliances and TVs and things like that. And used to see that, those regional stores. I don't even know if they're still around.
Do you remember that one? I don't know. Was it a store? I just remember it was a commercial as a kid. It was Crazy Eddie. These prices are insane.
The mattress stores.
Was that a national thing?
I think everybody kind of had that. Well,
and that was a scam. The whole going out of business, Crazy Eddie's, every mattress must go, we're slashing prices. That actually, because I knew the guy that used to cut all those commercials, and he told me like it was a legit scam. They weren't going out of business. And then the Federal Trade Commission stepped in and said, you can't fucking do that. And now if you read it, it says the signs that say going out for business. Because they had to change the wording. It was manipulative and deceptive to consumers.
Well, I remember seeing that commercial as a little kid on the TV, and then it made it in a Tom Hanks movie, and I'm going, all right.
This is everywhere.
This has got to be everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They don't. Yeah, you're right. You don't see too much of that anymore either.
No, a lot of those kind of like smaller, unique. Everything has really kind of gone to the corporate level. I think Amazon too has really even escalated how quickly we've gone to that because of convenience, buying power, all those kind of things that they can do, and that's created the separation. Now, the big thing and the blessing and the curse of capitalism is you can race all the way to the top, but if you crush all the other competition, then you've got that monopoly, and then they control how much they charge, and then ultimately that's bad for the consumer. That's why they step in and try to maybe bust up a Microsoft. Or it'd be interesting to see how big they allow Amazon to get.
Did Sports Authority go under, or is that still a thing?
They have been going under. I don't know where they exist because I know they closed their North Lake store. They closed the one they had in the outlets. If there is a Sports Authority, I don't know where it's open.
It's just weird how Dick starts taking over and Sports Authority starts going to the side. I wonder what changed. What happened with Sports Authority where they took their eye off the ball?
Yeah, I know that the Dicks had the bigger locations. A lot of them, they were kind of like that big old superstore.
Big old Dick.
Yeah. I mean, you can't forget that branding either.
At its height, Sports Authority had like 460 stores, but in March of 2016, they filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. A lot of the company stores were sold to liquidators, and then Dick's won the auction for their brand name and intellectual property. So Dick's ate Sports Authority.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Sports Authority was expensive. I remember that.
That's capitalism again. It's like, it's the prices. And if you have a place, and I remember some of their stores kind of started to look dingy because I remember when Dick's first opened up, I was like, wow, I had a better vibe going into Dick's. And you're right, the prices seem to be better. And so I stopped going to the Sports Authority and went to Dick's.
The one on North Lake started to look crappy to me.
It did, yeah. That was the one I'm talking about specifically.
I noticed that, man. I hate when that happens, where especially restaurants, where you love a restaurant and you go there, and then all of a sudden, little things start to happen, and you're hoping it's just a 1 or 2 time incident, and just the overall brand of the restaurant goes to shit. And you wonder if that's like a local management thing, or is that an overall company kind of a thing?
Well, I think you start to see the little scars. It starts to look outdated. You start to see things that are just kind of off. That maybe something's a little bit stickier, that looks a little dirty, or just the service isn't quite as crisp. And that's how you can start to see a place start to trail off,
Yeah, I don't want to, because I know we're living in a pandemic, so I don't want to be all judgy, but there's a place that I love. I won't say where it's at. And it's not Camille's. I know it's not Camille's. It's a place I really hold very high. And I went there not too long ago, and it was grossing me out because they had flies everywhere. I mean, flies were. He brought out the cheese to cut the cheese, and as he walked back to go get something, no,
he farted on your meal. Okay,
no, that place is gross.
That's when I leave.
No, he brought out the cheese, and he walks away. He leaves the cheese out on the counter, and then I look over, and there's 3 flies. I just spit on you. Sorry.
Yeah, you did.
There's three flies that land on the cheese, and he's over there fucking around with something as these flies are having a.
All these flies are inside?
It's all inside. Yeah, it's flying on the vegetables, and I'm thinking I don't want to get too mad because flies happen, but shouldn't you try to get those flies out of there?
If I had one fly in my restaurant, I would lose my shit. You would see me at the store getting an electronic fly swatter so quick. Flies are disgusting.
It was a grocery kind of a place that it also makes food and stuff like that. And I just was a little bummed out. I mean, the service was terrible. It just was rough, and
I would not be going back to that place. If they see flies and they don't think it's a big issue to where all their employees are just trying to kill flies, I'm leaving.
Well, my sub was out, and he walked away, so I'm the whole time, I'm like panicking because I'm having sub anxiety.
The fly is going to see your sub.
I'm waiting for a fly to land on my sub now. I saw it land on the cheese.
Yeah,
that wasn't my
that's
cheese.
Tainted.
It was somebody else's cheese. So I'm watching it go, all right, I can deal with this if no fly lands on there. He's fucking talking about something else. It's taking forever. And flies are dancing around. It didn't get my sub. I still ate it, but I don't want to be in that fly position.
You shouldn't be. Inside a restaurant, if there are flies landing on any of the food,
right out.
You gotta knock it away or something.
I would be sorry. If it's not a problem to the owner, I can only imagine.
And then if the owner came over near me and cut the cheese and then walked away, yeah, I'm definitely leaving.
Oh, imagine someone farted on your sub. That would be rough.
That bitch just farted on me.
Yeah, I was bummed out by it.
I don't blame you. You should be.
I mean, it looked like a fly fuck fest at one point.
That is just so messed up. It's on so many levels disturbing.
I'm gonna tell you after, and you're gonna be shocked.
I can't wait for you to tell me.
I am.
Do I know them?
We'll talk.
Tom here has a good point. He said if you're looking for sporting goods, don't go to Dicks.com. Go to DicksSportingGoods.com. You don't want to see what you'll find at Dicks.com.
Or maybe you do.
I guess it's whatever you're looking for.
Whatever you're into.
Yeah. Got an email here that says, hey, I'd love for you guys to weigh in on this one. I and my 22-year-old daughter, who has asthma, have been meticulous in our precautions regarding the coronavirus, and my teen son has barely even been out of the house. I mean, we wear masks every time. We got gloves. Only going to the same 2 stores since March. We limit exposure, hand washing, sanitizing, cleaning, no outings, all that kind of stuff. Well, my husband, who in most things is very lax, and that's been a problem in many areas for years, was also super lax on COVID. He works for delivery. For that, he did the mandatory mask. But I never saw him wash that thing one time. And also, nightly, must stop to buy his ciggies and beer on the way home. Now he'll go to random stores as he pleases. He never wears masks when he does. I wouldn't see him wash his hands. Half-asses using sanitizer. You get the idea. Well, he didn't take this thing seriously, and we fought over this many times. I told him, look, if I get sick or these kids get sick, there will be hell to pay. Well, guess what? Early July, he wakes up with cold symptoms. We fight. We force him to go get COVID tested, and we made him quarantine in the master bedroom. Myself and the kids, we got tested the next day too, but had no symptoms yet. I began having cold symptoms soon, but not as bad as his. It took 10 days to get the results, and of course, he was positive.
Oh.
A few days later, my test comes back. I'm positive.
Oh, boy.
Now my son is also positive. Her daughter's the one who has the asthma. My husband is still not working and pretty sick still. So I feel like I'm done. The lack of respect and consideration for our health is the final straw to me. To give myself and our child a virus that could have killed us, could still kill us, will be in our bodies forever like chicken pox with who knows what long-term results. He hasn't apologized, said he messed up or anything. I provide him meals and meds and everything right now since he's quarantined in the master bedroom. And I want to tell him to move out. I want a divorce once he recovers a bit more. This is going to be a huge problem because he doesn't earn enough to be on his own, though. Another area of problems over the years. I feel like ending it over COVID. It's not over the top, but I know I'm very emotional because it affects my kids. I'd love to hear your advice on this one. I just want myself and my kids to recover and not be susceptible to this again because of somebody's bad decisions. If we got it after taking so many precautions, I would say, okay, I did all I could. I let my kids down so badly by allowing their dad to live here when he was so lax and lazy on this, and it's hard to forgive myself. Thanks for your advice.
Man, that's tough.
Mm-hmm.
I would be pissed just like you. I really, really would. And this is why I get so mad every time Magnolia asks me if she can go do something that's inappropriate. Because I'm like, look, if you go out there and you get sick and you bring that home and your stepdad gets sick, you could kill him. So stop it. And just the fact that he was so cavalier and told you he didn't care and was not going to take the same precautions as you guys, and then he got it first, and then all of you got it after him. The timeline is super apparent that he did indeed give it to you. Here's what you have to do, though. You can't make any rash decisions right now because you guys are still in it. You need to focus on healing and then think about what you're going to do in the future. The only thing you need to think about right now is your health and your children's health and his health. Unfortunately, you got to get him back healthy too. Decisions about who's going to stay with who can be made in 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. Don't do anything drastic right now while you're sick.
I completely agree with the witch on this. I think right now you concentrate on getting everybody healthy, including your husband. The thing that really sucks, though, about that situation, yeah, he fucked up. All that's awful. All that's annoying. He thumbed his nose in it. The fact that he's not apologizing and saying he's sorry and having a human moment with you and opening up his heart and going, I fucked up. I am so sorry. That goes a long way.
It really does.
It really does. If you can be humble enough to admit you're a fuck face.
And you apologize, then that person, I think, deserves forgiveness.
Yes. And then your wife's going to want to help take care of you and not want to fucking wring your neck.
But he's in it too right now. So let's just all... I know you're mad. I would be so mad too. Let's all just take a deep breath and realize that no decision should be made right now.
Well, the only decision you need to do is just everyone needs to just get healthy. And that's a good thing to concentrate on.
Yes. And make sure you're doing everything that the doctors are telling you. And if you have to, a lot of these doctors now are doing telemedicine where you can do FaceTime with your doctor and find out and make sure you're doing everything you can to get healthy and not have lingering long-term effects from all of this. Mm-hmm. That's the scariest part because we don't know what these lingering long-term effects are.
Well, the biggest part of this is there's a massive lack of inconsideration. It sounds like it's been going on for a while. And, when you're in a marriage still, you need to still try. You need to be considerate. You need to be kind. You need to do all these kind of things or marriages will fail. And I think that's why you're seeing the divorce rates going up. They say that since March, divorce rate up 30%. And that's because when you're in close quarters and proximity with somebody is when you are an inconsiderate person, that becomes glaring.
It's probably sink or swim for couples. You're either gonna you realize, okay, I can ride out this journey with this person, or who the shit are you?
Because it's harder to live separate lives and function when you now are quarantined together.
I couldn't imagine being quarantined with somebody. Not only do I get annoyed with, but genuinely don't like. That would be tough.
You're describing half of the people right now.
I know. That sucks, man.
Once he's well, I don't think there's anything wrong with a really tough conversation where you tell him exactly how you feel. Not that you necessarily need to throw out the divorce, but you say, look, it is tough to be with you because of your inconsideration. And what you have done, I am very resentful for this because I warned you before. I told you there'd be hell to pay if it happened. It has happened. This has heightened my already anxious situation. And this can't continue on in our life and us have to have a successful marriage. I need more from you. And if you are saying right now that you can't deliver that, then we need to figure out what to do.
Yeah, and if he can't deliver that, if he doesn't fall on the sword and apologize, 2-3 months from now when all of you are healed and you're not in the thick of it still, if he can't apologize and own what he did, you should not feel bad about leaving him. And the fact that he can't support himself, that's his problem.
True.
He is a grown-ass man. If he put himself in a scenario where he can't afford to pay his own bills in life, that is not your problem.
Yeah, but that's great and good because you're not involved in the situation. That's the husband and father of, it's the father of her kids. She has a heart. She cares about him. She's mad at him, but she cares about him.
Yeah.
So she's not going to want him to fucking be, out and about dying on the street somewhere because she's got a heart.
But there's going to be a time when you have to decide if he doesn't care about my happiness, my health, my safety, what am I holding on for? Why would I want to let this man who's not even contributing equally be like this to me and the children? I'm sorry. There's a certain point when it's okay to walk away.
There needs to be a level of accountability with spouses, where you need to say, look, you're not meeting the needs, my expectations. I need better from you. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that, you do that with coworkers. You do that with teammates. You need to do that with your spouse.
You allow people to mistreat you.
Yeah.
And if you allow him to mistreat you, then you're not handling the situation right. He's taking advantage of you.
Yeah. Dude, you need to step up your game.
Step it up!
But this conversation, I repeat, cannot happen now. This is 2 months from now when everybody's healthy and everybody's emotions have cooled down and you've had a lot of time to think about it and talk about it with your children, and everybody has to really go into this with thoughtful, non-emotional, fact-based discussion. This is a fact-based thing. You got us all sick, and I warned you there would be hell to pay if you did that.
Got an email here, maybe a little bit of an insight as to the helicopter that was following Jaybird yesterday. Somebody said, I lived near Jaybird. It was a green helicopter. I saw it, and I believe it was covering the COVID testing center at the new ballpark.
Yeah, it was definitely not a traffic helicopter. It just wasn't. I know what those look like. I'm not that fucking dumb. I'm pretty dumb, but not that dumb.
Okay.
And it did. I'm telling you guys, where I moved, this thing fucking followed me.
When
and
I
Chewy.
move, you move,
It
just
did.
like that.
It did. You can call me paranoid. You can call me stoned. You can call me all of it. Call me dipshit. But I know what I saw.
Okay. I know I've seen a lot of news footage from that testing site over at the ballpark at the Palm Beaches. They show that a lot, show the lines, and they like that aerial view. I wonder if they're going to start getting rid of those helicopters, though, because the drones seem to be a lot more affordable and a lot easier. And somebody was talking today about, if it was following Jaybird, like, it is very expensive to keep a helicopter in the air.
Yeah, it's crazy expensive.
Yeah, it's not like just idling in a car.
I don't think it was following me like it was trying to do something with me. It just was weird. Where I went, it would be hovering, and then when I would start walking a certain way, that fucking thing would follow me Probably a coincidence, but it was like a Twilight Zone episode. It was bizarre, man. That's why I brought it in.
You're interesting, but you're not that interesting.
I agree.
It's expensive.
I don't know what was going on, but I would put that in one of the weirder things that has happened to me in a while.
Okay. Yeah, so that's a thought there.
And they all think I'm nuts.
It's okay. You know what? Don't read the comments.
I've retired. I don't read the comments during the show, never.
Good. It's not worth it. It gets in your head.
Engineer Keith here talking about yesterday's discussion about the Pentagon, or somebody from inside the Pentagon talking about how they have recovered some out-of-this-world aircraft, or aircraft not from this world, I think is what the quote was. And I just want to let you know, if you haven't checked it out yet, a couple things to check out. Joe Rogan has done a couple podcasts on that. The one with Bob Lazar. You can do a search on that. I had checked that out and watched it. He claims to have worked at an area close to Area 51 with reverse engineering alien technology. There's also a Bob Lazar special on Netflix,
which is very, very good. Mm-hmm. And there's a part where you're like, oh, this guy is legit. And then it goes into how he's caught with some prostitutes in there, and they're wondering if somebody set him up because he knows information. It's really good stuff.
Yeah, there were some things that could call into question his credibility. I have listened to the Joe Rogan, and I even checked out a good portion of the Netflix. I will tell you, they need to really edit down Bob Lazar, and both of those. That was the thing I found. I'm like going, you guys could have said what I heard about Bob Lazar in this in 3 minutes, and it is, the one podcast was like 3 hours, and the other one's like, I'm like, just speed this thing. I was like, all right, come on. You're saying the exact same thing.
The one you probably want to watch then is the Netflix one. It's very visual. Yeah. There's some good stuff in there.
But even that one, I didn't make it all the way through it because I'm like, guys, just all right, tell me something new. Like, they're dragging it out so much.
Some of that stuff does that.
I'm like, just tell the damn thing what he saw, what it is. But I'm like, this is way too long.
True radio man right there. Keep it nice, quick, and tight.
It was not. Well, everything. I'm used to TikTok world, baby.
I know. No, I felt,
you could honestly do the Bob Lazar story in a TikTok video.
I felt the same way about Unsolved Mysteries. I felt like my knees were shaking because I'm like, get to the fucking point. Let's go. We get
They're drawing it out too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, there's a few interesting things with the Bob Lazar story, but not enough to sit through all that. So give me the highlight version. I'm in.
It's a good story, though. If it's not long-winded, it's very good because there are some stuff that he kind of, it looks like he's proven. He came up with a couple formulas. That part's pretty cool. Where he wrote a bunch of stuff back in 1984. Yeah. And nobody believed him. And now you look back now, and he's got the original transcripts.
Fascinating stuff.
Wake up, Virginia. All right.
I'm awake.
She's trailing off. I can feel.
I want to die.
Oh, whatever. I got to sit through 3 during the days.
Oh, you were asking questions. You were licking your lips at my stories today, bitch. Don't even.
I was.
It was. He was very thirsty over here for the dirt.
You were drinking it up like
he
it was
drinking your tea, Virginia.
Hot soups.
Yeah.
I was drinking your dirt today.
You're loving it.
Mm-hmm. Andy also said the other one to check out is the one with Commander David Fravor and Jeremy Corbell. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but that's pretty much just phonetically the names.
Is that the one on the Rogan?
Rogan with both of those guys.
It's a good one.
Pilots encountering unidentified aircraft.
I think they're the ones that they might be the pilots with that footage that's out right now that everyone's going ape shit about.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's them.
And I'm to the part where I feel like I've seen it all, and a lot of it's the same damn story with Bob Lazar, with all these pilots, and everything else is like, yeah, I get it. Give me something new because I'm tired of seeing the exact same. Yeah, we can't believe how no other aircraft does this. It was, I got that. So give me more.
If you got Lazar saying, okay, well, an Alien 69, okay, I want to hear about that.
I want to see the video.
We need the next. Yeah, okay. And what's next? What's the next part of the story? Because you keep retelling the same part of it over and over again.
I could see that trending. Alien 69 is a thing.
If you watch it, do you start masturbating?
The better question is, if an alien came down to seduce me, would I get turned on? That's a fair question. And the question is, I don't know. Maybe a couple wines in me, starts rubbing my balls. I don't know.
That little finger, that long alien finger they got, looks perfect for a little prostate jiggle.
That's not really the way to get me in the mood.
That thing was glowing.
That's E.T.'s finger.
It's very interesting things going on with that.
E.T. was very sexual. All right, I'll take it.
They didn't do anything more with that E.T. thing. They did that one commercial, and then
I know.
why did he come back
You know
in
what?
that commercial?
I thought they were going to do a lot more with E.T. and they just didn't. and maybe E.T. wasn't as good as we thought it was. Had a lot of hype. I've watched E.T. as an adult, and talk about parts that are fucking long and drawn out. E.T., edit your alien ass down.
That's the problem with a lot of those older movies. They really took their time, and yeah, we just got a different sense of boredom now. Happens a lot quicker.
You could probably edit out about 20 minutes of E.T., man.
Yeah. They should do reissued edits.
You probably could tell. You could probably do a 13-minute movie of E.T. and get the whole thing done.
Yeah.
You probably could. Like, oh, he shows up. He fucking warms your heart with the finger a little bit. He gets sick, and then he goes back home. Boom.
Spielberg, who? We got Cheeseburg.
Don't you fucking forget it.
I like C.J. Bird's bad edits of E.T.
If I could tell a story. I think I get sued, though. I think Spielberg would end up bringing down Cheeseburg.
If Spielberg was hashtag be cool,
Yeah.
I would like a video on his face, a split screen. Half of it is your new movie. The other half is Spielberg's face watching your new movie.
Yeah, man. I think you could do that movie in 12 minutes.
Do a quick edits version of E.T. I think you could show it to friends. I don't think you can post it anywhere.
Yeah, you could do it to friends.
If Spielberg signed off on it, you could.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. Do a 5-hour edit job just to show 3 people.
Yeah, that's our way, baby. A lot of work for a little payoff. Hello, welcome to the KVJ show. Yeah, all right. Well, thank y'all for the emails and for locking us in today. Appreciate it. You want something on the After the Show podcast, send us that email, mail@kvjshow.com, mail@kvjshow.com. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.